Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Dear students, today we are going to read lesson number 8, Life at Edgecombe Villa. It is a story of three children and their parents. Let's start reading. Roberta, known otherwise as Bobby, Peter and Phyllis lived at Edgecombe Villa with their wonderful parents. Edgecombe Villa was an ordinary red brick fronted villa, but it had all the conveniences in the world. Conveniences means comforts. It had a pretty hallway, colored glass in the front door, bathrooms with hot and cold water, electric bells, French windows, and white walls, adorned with many pictures. Mother was a dear. She did not spend her time visiting and waiting for folks to visit. She was nearly always there. She helped them with their homework, read aloud to them, and played with them. She even wrote stories for them when they were in school, so she could read these out of them at tea time. She wrote little poses means poetry, for them for special occasions like the christening. Christening means a ceremony where a boy is given a name, like the christening of the kittens or the refurnishing of the doll's house or when they were down with mumps. Father was perfect too. He was never angry, was always fair, cheerful, and ready for a game. He was often an engineer when their toys were out of sorts, a veterinary doctor when the wooden horse fell apart, and restored the doll's house when it had started leaning sideways. On Peter's 10th birthday, mother and father got him a lot of gifts. The special one amongst these was a smart little fire engine. After all, Peter did not have his heart set on becoming an engineer. The engine ran proudly round the living room with its standard of toys till one day, either because of Peter's inexperience or Phyllis' honest intentions, the engine broke down and would run no more. Peter's eyes were red, but he tried hard not to cry. Peter confirmed that he had red eyes owing to a cold. Confirmed means made certain. He indeed did come down with the cold quite suddenly, and mother wrote him some poesy to cheer him up. It cheered him up a whole lot. He sat up in bed and demanded some meat pie. Cook was asked to make meat pie, and when Peter had had his dinner, he looked fit as a fiddle. As for the engine, Peter's only hope was father. Father was away for a few days, and Peter awaited his return most eagerly. Even when father returned, Peter was a good boy, enough to wait for him to finish dinner. Before he left, mother mentioned the matter of the engine. Mother said, "Now, dear, if you are quite rested and quite comfy means comfortable, we want to tell you about the great railway accident and ask your advice. All right, said father, fire away. So then Peter narrated the sad story and fetched what was left of the engine. He asked, father, in a low, unsteady voice, is there no hope? The children held their breaths. Hope? Rather, tons of it, said father cheerfully. It will only need some soldering. Soldering means join together with a metal filler and a new valve, and then it should be as good as new. I think we would better keep it for a rainy day. In other words, I'll I'll is a contracted form of I will. I'll give up Saturday afternoon to it, and you shall all help me. Hurrah! Shouted the children. This story teaches us we should not leave hope in any case or any circumstances, and it also teaches us moral values like kindness. That's all for today. Thank you, students.